Origin Gents, one CG reaction, and this is Miscellaneous Myths Atalanta by the channel All the Sarcastic production. Atalanta, everybody, kicked ass, took names, adopted on 2 separate occasions, had a fondness for shiny stuff. This is her story. Okay. Yeah, Atalanta, I don't know who that is. I know there's a city named Atalanta in US. City, or is it a state? I don't know. But I don't know who Atalanta is, so this is going to be fun. I'm learning, Greek mythology and different mythologies from this channel, so it's a fun channel to react to. I love the animation they do. I love the way, Red, I think she's called Red, her eyes is red, so yeah, Red, tells the story really well, so it's fun. I reacted to a few old sarcastic videos already. If you haven't seen them, check out the cast of the playlist I created for it. Check out the playlist too, like Real Life Lore, CGP Grey, Kuzgaza, things like that, Internet Historian, and yeah, let's watch this one.
Man, it was rough being a girl in ancient Greece. Your life basically had 2 possible trajectories. Marry someone and hope that doesn't go too wrong, or get knocked up by Zeus and be hunted by Hera for the rest of your natural life. Fun times for everybody. But in the great testosterone-laden courts of the ancient Greek heroes, one stands out from the rest as a unique example of a defied cliché, an ancient example of a gloriously modern trope, the token girl. Atalanta. Her name is Atalanta, and yes, to my knowledge, she is the only classical Greek hero who manages to kick ass and have 2 X chromosomes at the same time. Now, Atalanta's life gets off to a rough start when she's born in Arcadia.
Ah, man, honey, you screwed up. Guess we better try again, okay.
To a king and queen who really wanted a son, rather than do that thing where they raise her as a boy or something.
Hey, maybe we can just work with what we have. No. That would disrespect her identity.
The king takes the high road and abandons her on a mountaintop to starve. Stay classy, Arcadian king. So baby Atalanta would be dead 15 times over if it weren't for the timely arrival of a mother bear, which by the way is a symbol of Artemis, goddess of badass women and virginity, who takes the baby girl in and raises her as one of her own cubs. So Atalanta is raised by bears, which is like twice as rad as being raised by gorillas, but all good things must come to an end, and Atalanta is discovered by a troop of hunters, who take her back to civilization and raise her as their own. So the hunters teach Atalanta about all the good things civilization has to offer, like languages and clothes and sharp objects, and Atalanta grows up to be an all-around badass and an expert huntress. Somewhere along the line, she beats King Peleus in a wrestling match, also known as Achilles' dad, and casually shoots a couple centaurs who wanted to do unsavory things in her general direction. In some versions of her story, she also sails with Jason on the Argo while he goes off to do cool.
Yeah, Achilles' mother was goddess, not the father, right? So I guess Achilles' father is not much, or am I wrong? I don't know.
Argonaut things, but in other versions he doesn't let her on board because of the problems having a gorgeous lady on a long sea voyage could cause. So while that's happening, in the nearby kingdom of Calydon, the king manages to completely forget about the goddess Artemis when the time comes for the yearly harvest festival, and that royally pisses her off. So she makes a giant murderous boar and sends it to attack Calydon, where the boar tears through everything and generally makes a ruckus. So the king sends for all the bravest hunters in the area, and along with the standard Greek sausage fest we've come to expect from such a casting call, who should arrive but Atalanta? So the king's like, hey there, miss. My daughters are out back playing in the garden if you want to do something a little more your speed. And Atalanta's like, I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. I was told there was murdering to be done around here, not arts and crafts. And the big scary dude hunters are like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, is Atalanta, I guess, basically another version of Artemis or something? Or what you call in the Greek, like, I guess. What do you call Avatar in, I don't know, in Greek mythology? I forgot, but I think she's just another version of Artemis, isn't she?
I'm not going on a boar hunt with any girls. But one of the less dickish hunters, the handsome Caledonian prince named Meleager, is all like, oh, I'm sorry, it sounds to me like you're afraid she'll outclass you. No, that's fine. I guess we'll go save the kingdom by ourselves if you're all too scared. So the hunters finally agree to go hunt the boar, and after a lot of cartoonish misadventures involving a lot of hunters getting murdered by the boar, Atalanta stabs it in the back and Meleager gets a solid hit into the thing's chest. So the hunters are like, sick, Meleager, you totally killed it. Meleager's like, no, come on, guys, Atalanta here got the first strike, she should get the prize. So he gives her the boar's skin as a prize, but Meleager's uncles, who'd been hunting with them, are the biggest dicks of all, and they start pushing Atalanta around, trying to bully her into leaving so they can take all the credit. Meleager tells him to stop, the whole thing escalates into a legit sword fight, and somehow the uncles end up dead. Okay, this part calls for a little bit of backstory. See, Meleager's got a weird little thing—
Wait a minute. So basically, he killed his uncles, because they were being dicks. I guess they probably were even more bigger dick if, he thought, screw this, I'm gonna kill them or something like that.
About his lifespan. It's directly linked to a piece of firewood. When the wood burns up, he dies. So one of the hunters runs back to the kingdom and tells Meleager's mother, the queen, that Meleager killed her brothers, and the queen flies into a rage and pitches the wood into the fireplace. So Meleager spontaneously drops dead, which I imagine is rather disconcerting.
Meleager's mother killed him because he killed her brothers. She must have known that they were dick at certain level. So without knowing what the full story is, without hearing Meleager's side, she just decided to kill her son. I mean, she cared about her brother more than her own son. I mean, come on, man. Without even trying to know this what story is, she just killed him. Damn, that is just effed up.
Asserting to the rest of the hunters. But as much of a bummer as that is, Atalanta has now made a name for herself as the huntress who killed the Caledonian boar. Now, we all know what happens to gorgeous women who get famous. Dudes start flocking from around the world to marry them. Atalanta's royally sick of these suitors all trying to win her favor, and because the word no meant precisely nothing in ancient Greece, they're aggressively persistent, and short of actually murdering them, there's not much Atalanta can do to make them leave her alone. So Atalanta proposes a challenge to her eager suitors. All they have to do is beat her in a foot race, and she'll marry them. But there's one condition: if they lose to her, she'll straight up murder them. That's enough to make around half of them back off, but the remaining suitors race her one at a time, and all lose and then die, and somehow this keeps attracting more suitors. So one day, a young man named Hippomenes comes to town to race for Atalanta's hand in marriage. Now, Hippomenes is nice and handsome and smart and kind of a dork, and even Atalanta doesn't
I understand that in the Greek time, women had it, really effed up. The conditions were really bad. But, people trying to pursue her, so her answer is just to kill them. I mean, she knows she's gonna win because she's that good. And I mean, people can be moron at times. So obviously it's not working. She probably killed a few guys and it's not working. So she still has that challenge up. I mean, I think that's a bit extreme, isn't it?
want to see him dead, so she tries to dissuade him from racing her. But Hippomenes is dead set on winning her hand in marriage, and he's actually prepared for the situation. No, not by training. You think any amount of training is gonna let you outrun a woman raised by bears? No, see, he went and talked to Aphrodite, and Aphrodite thought they'd make a super cute couple, so she agreed to help him out. So they start racing, and Atalanta immediately nearly catches up to him because, among other things, Hippomenes is not a great runner. But just as she's about to overtake him, Hippomenes drops a golden apple on the ground. Atalanta loves shiny things, so she stops to grab it, and Hippomenes gets a somewhat respectable lead going, which is immediately closed as Atalanta unsurprisingly catches up immediately. So Hippomenes drops a second golden apple, even bigger and shinier than the first one, and Atalanta again runs off to get it. Again, Hippomenes gets a solid lead, and again Atalanta catches up, and Hippomenes throws his third and final golden apple, and Atalanta accidentally takes too long to go and get it. So Atalanta lets Hippomenes win, and the two get married and presumably live out the rest of their days being totally adorable.
So the guy won literally by trying to, that Looney Tunes style cartoon thing, throwing things off so she's like, ooh, shiny, and just wasted time. That is something.
That's Hippomenes win, and the two get married.
And this is my awesome smart husband. Well, I hope he's treating you well. Oh, that's a bad as well there.
And presumably live out the rest of their days being totally adorable.
Of course, you could say that Atalanta was totally captivated by the allure of the golden apples, unintentionally kneecapped herself as a result, and got married out of a bout of shocking out of character stupidity, ended up without a say in who her husband was. But like,
whatever you do, I'll do it too.
Why would you
Show
want to?
me everything and tell me
It's up to interpretation, and that interpretation is gross.
how. It all means something.
In some versions, Atalanta and Hippomenes are turned into lions by Zeus after they bang in one of his temples.
And yet nothing to me.
This was considered an exceptionally cruel punishment because at the time the theory was that lions only mated with leopards, not other lions.
I can see there's so much to learn. It's all so close and yet
Also, Maliga's mom super died. I forgot to mention. How she died?
so far. I see myself as people.
Either she was struck with remorse and jumped out of her window, or Artemis sent another bull specifically to kill her.
People see me. Oh, I just know there's something bigger out there.
Atalanta is not the only hero caught in the perpetual tug of war between Artemis extra virgin Gria and Aphrodite. I totally ship it. And what the hell does that even mean?
I wanna know. Can you show me? I wanna know.
Unsurprisingly, heroes who swear fealty to Artemis generally remove themselves from Aphrodite's direct sphere of influence due to the whole virginity thing.
About these strangers like me. Tell me more.
Also, unsurprisingly, Aphrodite rarely takes this well. Yeah.
Please show me something's familiar about.
However, generally the reasons are rather less positive for any parties involved, as we'll see when we get to Hippolytus. Yeah, whenever Aphrodite is involved, usually results are not good because she rarely thinks about the end result.
About these strangers like me.
Yeah. All right. So I think that was, her mother basically. Yeah, who's the guy's name? I even forgot the guy's name. His mother basically kills him because he killed her brothers without even trying to know like why he killed her brothers. And I think the story about either Artemis sent some kind of a basically animal to kill her, or maybe she killed herself out of remorse. I feel like remorse fit well because out of a sudden anger she killed him, but then realized, oh, what did I do? What did I did just then? So I guess that kind of makes sense. All right, that was Miscellaneous Miss Atalanta. If you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the reaction I did. There's a link in the description. Check out the cast for the playlist. Check out the end cards, and I'll see you next time.